Hey, yo, what's going on, friends? Welcome back to another ridiculously numbered episode of In Madness Pod. Let's call this 33.25 just to make things more insane. It's Shawn the Butcher. I'm here with Vertebrae33 once again. How's it going, dude?
What's going on, Shawn? How you doing? We're on a weird numbering system. We're not alone as well. It's an odd day for recording. It's been an interesting few days, to sum it up. And I'm excited for this conversation. If you can't tell it in my super excited voice.
We've got a packed house today. I've got two very special friends of mine, close personal friends of the podcast and of myself and of Vertebrae. I've got Capozzi, frontman of Lost Becomes. What up, Capozzi?
What is good?
I got Ageman, Shawn Ageman from Washed Up Media, also drummer of Lost Becomes, and about a million other things that we can get into. What up, Shawn?
Pleasure to be here. How you guys doing?
That's very good. Make sure you follow us on the socials for the premiere podcast, In Madness Pod, at In Madness Pod on all the socials, inmadnesspod@gmail.com. If you want to send us an email, which we will read on the air in one of the next upcoming ridiculously themed numbered episodes. We are on YouTube. You can see the homies right now on our YouTube page. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, comment, give us the 5 stars on everything. Check out the In Madness Spotify playlist, which after this episode, I know damn sure is going to have a handful of brand new bands on it. So far, it's at 5 hours. We're going to get it up to 6 really quick. Spread the madness. Tell everybody you know about this show. And if you want your In Madness t-shirt, the tentacle eye, or the milking of the alpacas like Capozzi is flaunting right now, go to inmadness.com, now available in assorted sizes for certain specific shirts, but you can get them if you're XXX, XXX. I don't know if we hit the quadruples or not. That's a Vertebrae question.
I don't know. We're not there yet. But, you know, Shawn, I already have a song to add to the playlist.
Well, first off, what are you? Do you have a special mug for this episode?
Oh, I do. I have this. I got this Dune mug, and it's like a heat reaction Dune mug. One of my hundreds of mugs.
So what? When you put like hot stuff in it?
Yeah, when you get the coffee in there, then these little stars come up. It's cooled off, but back in the background, you would have it. So yeah, I didn't know what to pick for that. I don't have a Lost Becomes mug. Do they have them?
We'll figure it out. We'll get you that mug.
I need a Lost Becomes mug. Absolutely. Need one.
One of my many nieces or nephews may make it for you, but it'll be Lost Becomes IP.
That's fine, like a pinch pot or something, or the coil. You can do like the coil thing. Yeah, that's fine. That's perfect. Appreciate it.
What song do you want to add, Vertebrae?
So I'm going to let you talk about what we're coming off of because you're the expert radio guy.
Yeah.
But, you know, I don't know what's going on. I know the 90s are back. I see it all over the place. Where we were the other night, there were quite a lot of mullets.
They never left, baby.
There were like a lot of mullets. There were a lot of like corn. People had like wearing, some kid had a corn hat on.
We time traveled Saturday.
Yeah, it was pretty rad.
Everywhere I go, I hear now a Creed song. So Shawn knows this. I go to Hershey Park a couple weeks ago, and they're playing at Hershey Park that night. Right, there was one in the parking lot at the show. Somebody was playing it. Somebody did it.
Was Resistor blasting Creed out of their
of course they were.
Yeah, everywhere I go. So I feel like you should add that to the playlist, and somebody can explain to me why we went back into the 90s again, because I'm confused.
Well, I mentioned this in a few episodes. The 90s were the best era. That was my day. Back in my day, I love the 90s. Creed also close personal friends, which we can gladly say now. Maybe they don't know it, but they have direct contact with this show in one way or another. So yeah, I'll definitely add some Creed to the In Madness Spotify playlist.
What song?
And deep cut off of My Own Prison, man. Go deep. Give him the good stuff.
I was going to do Last Breath. I'm set free from the...
That's what was playing in the parking lot.
It's one of the greatest of all time. It is. It is.
The reason they pop back up is because of TikTok.
Oh.
And that song in particular, that's why they got bumped back into society.
Oh, I see people doing stuff with these rulers. So they they pull the ruler out and they get 6 feet from something, and then they play that song like right at
Yeah.
the part. So it's like, so I think there should be. I was thinking there should be like a tape measure where the song plays when you hit 6 feet. Home Depot
Maybe
idea
it's
right
a
there.
merch item.
So what I wanted to
Premium
highlight.
item.
What I wanted to highlight on today's show, we just came off this thrilling weekend. Like, it's still fresh. I got the scent of it still on me. We just threw this awesome show. I mean, shout out Washed Up Media. My man Shawn, like, hooked. Dude did 99.99999%. Just like any question I had, I went to, like, Shawn was in the middle of the conversation, and I'm like, hey, what's the Wi-Fi password? He's like, God damn it. Where's the lights at? How do I turn it? God damn it. It worked. Everything worked out beautifully.
We figured it out, man. You gotta be all over the place. We did my element.
Hell yeah, we did it at for Memorial Day weekend at the Massapequa VFW in Long Island, New York, with headliners Lost Becomes, who we are joined by now. Plus, we had Resistor, Wreath of Tongues, Trip Villain, and Silenus. It was a strong show. I appreciate that you guys let me be involved in this, but not only myself, we had In Madness Love was there as well, plus Hot Chicken Mama, plus Heavy's headphones, plus Westfall Recording Studio. We had an army of mother effers out there, and that's just people who were involved with the show. We were talking right before we started recording, Shawn, like, one of the coolest parts was when, like, we were there like 2 hours early, and sitting pacing around, but then car after car after car starts pulling up, and immediately I'm getting like, so that was one of the highlights, I think, definitely.
It's always like my favorite part, man. Like, we do all of our promoting like more old. I mean, we use social media, but like I was telling Capozzi and a bunch of other people, like, I don't even do Facebook event pages. Like, we do flyers, we do word of mouth, and like,
I was outside of the E-Town show handing out flyers.
If you build it, they will come, baby. That's it. That's the best part, is that, like, you're there 5 o'clock. You're like, is this gonna pop off? Is it gonna be a good night? Is it gonna be a mediocre night? And when you start to see those cars rolling in, and like, you know, by the second band, like, you're shuffling through people in the crowd just to get around. Like, all right, like, we're good. We're gonna be great. Yeah, I mean, people pulled up for this show, man. It was fantastic. I think I was telling you guys today, we had, like, after doing all like the numbers, we had like 106 paid heads in the door. You know,
sick,
in a VFW hall.
Let's not tell Uncle Sam.
It was ripping, man. It was ripping.
Yeah, I mean, I want to recap the amazing night that we had, because a lot went on, a lot of people were involved. But also I want to tell a little bit of your guys' story. So, like, I know Capozzi from past bands. I saw his band when I went to see VOD first off at the Kingsland. R.I.P. to the Kingsland.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I had no idea. Usually when a venue closed down, you get a couple of weeks heads up. Like, I found out it's like, oh, Kingsland's closing tomorrow. And I'm like, excuse me? So
I feel like I got broken up with over Facebook.
Yep. So that's rest in peace, Vitus, and rest in peace to the Kingsland, 2 great venues in Brooklyn. But I know where one shuts down, another one will certainly open up eventually. But I remember seeing Capozzi with what was, I don't know if you want to get it. What was your old band?
Thracian.
Yeah, I saw you guys open up for VOD.
Tim Williams called us Thracian.
Yeah,
and I will change the band name to that.
And then I was walking the streets of Merrick, New York, and Capozzi pulled up on me and he was like, "Hey, are you Shawn?" And I thought I was going to get shot. And it ended up being him. And then since then, we've just been linking up and having breakfast at diners and chilling. And
shout out Apollo Diner, best diner on Long Island.
Shawn from Washed Up Media. When I first moved out to Long Island, this dude was hustling harder than anybody I know.
Thank you.
Beery show, tons of Beery shows.
We met at a Bengal Deputy show. Yeah.
Yeah. Because you was selling photos, you were taking photos.
Yeah.
You had set up the whole lineup, the Washed Up Media flag, the same one that was hanging up a couple nights ago was up. And I was like, this dude does doing everything, like all like a one-man operation. The Hate 5-6 of Long Island.
It's an honor, man. Thank you.
Yeah. So and yeah, we met at the Bangladeshi show, which ended up getting us Trip Villain on our current show.
All full circle, man.
Yes, just seeing those tentacles spread. Not only that, my man Shawn is a huge Godzilla mark. That is something that we have always saw eye to eye on. Do you have a favorite Godzilla movie, Shawn?
Yeah, man. I mean, you know, -1 was phenomenal, but I think I'm just sticking with it. Shin Godzilla was my favorite Godzilla, man. That motherfucker's just so menacing. I love it. I love it, dude.
And on top of that, he is the drummer of Lost Becomes, and on top of that, I'm gonna say professional BMX rider.
Oh man, that's way too much of a compliment. But thank you. I do like riding bikes, so I guess me and Hate 5-6 have that in common too. Because I'm pretty sure he rides mountain bikes or some shit, which is dope.
Hell yeah. So these dudes just hustle and grind and have built an amazing community throughout the years through separate bands and through just knowing like so many different people. It's very cool to see these connections happen like literally in real time and things start to grow and to build. So I have to ask everybody, I want to go around the room. I'm going to start with Vertebrae. Favorite moment from the show that we threw on Saturday?
Huh. I don't know. I mean, all the bands were awesome. Or should I say, like, Lost Becomes was my favorite moment. I do remember Capozzi said, all right, I want to see everybody move or something like that. And I was like, perfect. I will move to the back. That's why I will move to. Thank you for giving me a heads up, and I will slide to the back, and everyone will be good. I was bummed, though. I really thought there was a Hot Chicken Mama behind Hot Chicken Mama Chicken, and then it was just two dudes.
Yeah,
really good chicken. But I was like, "Where's that Hot Chicken Mama at?" Like the false advertising on that one.
Yeah,
I thought it was great. I was just into watching, you know, kind of a younger generation for me, you know, get into stuff and just be, you know, there's a scene in Long Island, and it's cool to see you guys in it, and you know. As Shawn has talked about 100 times, like his goal in this podcast is to get me out of the house. So I got out of the house. I was there early. I stayed late, so that was a positive. But yeah, I thought it went off great, and everyone who left there seemed really into it, and it's pretty awesome.
What about you, Capozzi? Favorite moment from Saturday night?
I had a very deep cut favorite moment to where I was watching the door for Brian, the door guy, Sargasm, Shawn's other band. I watched a kid walk up to someone else and go, "Hey man, I'm sorry. I have crippling social anxiety. I'm really breaking out of my comfort zone here. I love your shirt. I love that band. I'm sorry. I'm so weird." And I went, "Brother man, you're doing a great job."
That's so cool to hear. That's very cool.
Oh, that's great.
And like, yeah, just like seeing people just like go back to the old school way of just making friends in person. Like it was just nice to see, and seeing this younger generation like get into our music and like vibe. No violence happened, right?
Let's not jinx it. It will never, ever happen, ever in the history of anything. Okay. So we don't have to get security to drag somebody out like I faked at a Sanguisugabog show. Well, before I ask you, Shawn, before I ask your favorite moments, since you were speaking about that, Capozzi, shout outs to the dudes in Silentist. There's a ton of brothers in Silentist. I think it's Josh and Ben and Alex, and then I think there's another brother, and he's the youngest of them all. I think they're all brothers. I have to double check. I know that a bunch of them are brothers, but it was actually one of his first shows.
Damn.
This show that we
did. Wow.
And they were like, "Thank you for putting this on, and thank you for like helping us get him to be a part of this." And he was in the pit, first band with Silentist.
Yeah.
They were moving. So first show, first pit, like I don't know if it's first show, but like very in the beginning stages. And to be a part of that, because I remember that for me, and to be that for somebody else, that's but still not my favorite part. But Shawn, you first. What was your favorite part?
All right, my favorite part was during Trip Villain. Someone came up to me and was like, "Yo, I feel like I'm listening to the Blade soundtrack," and I was just like, And I was just like, dude, yes. Yeah, like, I mean, Trip Villain was like, we were saying it like all night. I was hanging out with a bunch of dudes after the show in the parking lot. It was like, dude, Trip Villain was like the underdog of the night. Like, people were like, who the fuck is this band? This guy setting up keyboards. Like, and you know, if you know John, he's just got a bold personality, and he's not afraid to like take it to the fucking nine. And like, I think like they played like their second song, and they're like, you know, they were like asked the crowd something, and like the crowd like didn't really give them a response, and John's just like, fuck you guys. He was just like, oh, that fucking sucked, fuck you guys.
Yeah, I love John. Also a huge Godzilla fan.
Yeah, but yeah, the Blade comment, I was just like, this night's gonna be amazing, and it's only the second band. So yeah.
I'm going to be putting every single one of these bands onto the In Madness playlist.
Sure.
Lost Becomes is already on there. We had Chef Brian, the guitar player of Lost Becomes, on our The Menu episode, one of my favorite episodes till this day. And speaking of adding all these bands to the In Madness playlist, my highlight, I think, for the night is Kaposi telling me that everybody was digging the playlist that I made of hip hop in between bands. Because
MVP.
Thank you. Yes, I see and hear a lot of the time that, I mean, first off, sometimes the band's music, the headliner's band playing in between bands at a show, no good. Or the same genre of music playing as the bands on the show, no good. I just did an interview with Oxygen Destroyer, the Godzilla themed metal band, and they're at the ass end of their tour. And immediately the singer posted, why the hell the second the band ends do I have to hear Cannibal Corpse, Hammer Smash Face at top volume for the millionth time of the night? He's like, everybody who runs these shows, you need to reevaluate your shit. And this was like 4 days before our show. And this was like a day after Kaposi told me, I don't want to hear any metal in between bands, so set up a playlist. And I was like, this is all coming together. And I sat and I listened to the playlist for like 2 days straight, putting songs on, taking songs off. I wanted to be like a party atmosphere and not like just a deep cut of all the hip hop that I like. So like more like, and I would walk in and I was just scoping the room. And
people were singing to each other like Biggie lyrics back and forth. I was like, this rocks.
Yeah, that was I envisioned it and it happened the way I wanted it, and I'm keeping that playlist and I'm just going to build on that, and that'll be our show playlist. It'll never get old because those are classic songs that I can listen to a million times. But really quick, I'll just highlight everybody. Silent is my buddies from Long Island, New York. Those dudes are family. I got put onto those dudes through the band Sanction, another Long Island band. The Silent is EP, The Garden is Burning. Those dudes are like artists. They film all their music videos. I know Shawn from Watch Media does.
The shit's so good.
Well. It's like horror music.
Yeah,
videos match the vibe.
They got a whole image, a vibe. You go on their social medias, there's like not a lot of stuff, but it like works with like the mystique of just like what the hell they're doing. Creepy ass artwork, like
creepy samples in the background.
Thank you for bringing them on, man, for sure.
I feel like they're one of the strongest Long Island bands and like underdogs, definitely. Yeah, I feel like they should be reigning champions, and I just don't feel like they're getting the respect they deserve yet. So like, I was so happy to have them. Like once everybody showed up and all the bands were there, I'm like, this is friggin' perfect. Trip Villain again, like everybody after Trip Villain was like, who the hell was that? And just John behind the keyboards, bop, 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 bop. It was like a dance party, and the lighting and everything. That was
dime bag guitar. That dude had that sick fucking dime bag guitar, dude.
Yeah,
so awesome.
Kaposi, what'd you think about Trip Villain?
Oh, I love them. John and I me and John talk a lot about 9 Inch Nails. Speaking of 90s, and I'll be like, what is this synth noise that he uses? What is the sample? And he'll explain it in like an essay, and I'm like, sick. He actually introduced me to the 9 Inch Nails Wikipedia page that like I'll literally, pun intended, spiral and like just dive deep into it. So yeah, they're sick. I want to do. I was talking to them at the end of the night. And I was like, dude, let's play Brooklyn, Long Island. Who cares? Let's go.
I was telling Trip Villain, I was like, they're like, that's the best Long Island show we've ever done, and I'm like, that's all I want to hear.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
So I was like, you're with us now. I'm like, this Long Island's gonna be like your second home. We're gonna put you on with some weird ass bands, and you're gonna like come up and out of nowhere like just steal the night from everybody at like a hardcore show or something.
I love it.
So that was sick. And then we had Wreath of Tongues. I love Wreath of Tongues. Shout outs to Cody, their bass player. He was not there because he was touring with Alien Ant Farm. How friggin' crazy is that?
Yeah.
Was he?
Well, he's with Atomic Life.
Yes.
Yeah. His other band is.
Yes.
Give him the rub.
Shout out to Atomic Life. But Wreath of Tongues, just a nasty band. Filthy. Yes. And I love John, frontman John. That was the seed that planted in my head that I knew. I mean, I knew I had seen them before, long before that, but like, I was like, why do I know Wreath of Tongues? And I was like, oh, it's the dude who sings in his work clothes.
Yeah.
Like, it's part of his thing, or I don't know if it's part of his thing, or like he just comes straight from work, but he does it in the suit, the tie, the pants.
Look,
and at the end of the night,
I'm sorry to cut you off. He was in the bathroom, and someone goes, "Yo, those pants are sick," and he goes, "Dude, thank you so much."
So at the end of the night, I'm like, how do you not tear the ass out of those things? And he fucking looks at me and he starts doing super mega squats, ass to the floor and back up. And I'm like, that's got to be made of rubber. And he's like yelling in dudes' faces and grabbing them in the pit and throwing them at me and the other side of the pit. Vertebrae, what'd you think about Wreath of Tongues?
I was outside for
fuck.
good part. I'm not gonna lie.
Vertebrae was losing with Tim from Heavy's headphones.
Yeah,
hell yeah, good.
And got into a few conversations out there, but I mean, I could hear him.
Yeah,
I saw him earlier with the clothes on. Then when he was singing, I went in. They were kind of finishing up, and I was like, "Wow, that's pretty cool."
So what did they do? They are did they just do covers all night or something?
No, they didn't do covers. They're like, first of all, John sounds like a fucking monster. Like that is the best description for this guy. Like he just sounds like a fucking monster, and he's such a good vocalist, and like Russ is such a good guitar player, and Chris Rini is one of Long Island's like most fucking like one of the fucking tightest drummers I've ever seen play live. And like they just have these like 30 second to like a minute and a half grindcore deathcore, like not deathcore, like grindcore death metal, like noisecore, like whatever you want to fucking call it. Like they're just like,
it's like the perfect mix of
probably saying all the wrong genres, but they are just so in your face. The songs are just so fast, so short. So like this, they usually do this thing where they hop on shows and play like a 10-minute set, like as like a secret opener. But we were like, dude, like come play a fucking show. So they played their like 10-minute set and then just like did like covers. That
Converge one, I was hyped. I was like,
damn, they weren't going to play that.
I shouted it.
They did a Converge, because I was unfamiliar with it.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with them, but yeah, they did a Converge cover, and it was fucking, the crowd was going fucking crazy. People were like grabbing the mic from John.
A party band. If you want to top the party off, you want Wreath of Tongues on that bill. Then we have Resistor, which is another like party pop off band. The merch for Resistor is just so sick. I love they got the skate decks, they got the skate deck ramps, they got like 7 different t-shirts, they got the foam middle finger, I think.
Yeah.
Shout out Matt Cardona.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, that was for the fingers?
Yeah.
Nice.
I think Kubla Khan has those too, but they got the most perfect. We were all set up, and then Grambo, the singer, walks and he's like, "Can I sit up next to you?" And he's like, "We got a whole lot of shit." And he had the rap, everything. Shout outs to Resistor. They killed. They sounded awesome. Shout out. What's the DJ's name? I'm so bad with names. Good dude.
RC.
Yes. Good guy.
Dude, he brings that band together like fucking like glue, man. Like you hear that shit, like, and everyone's like, what the hell? Like that's some ripping DJ like over fucking like deathcore shit.
And he's the only one smiling.
yeah, dude. He looks like he's having the most fun. Actually, honestly, PD, their drummer, looks like he's having a blast. At the same time, though, Conti never fucking gets that smile off his face. The guitar player is always cheesing.
Yeah, they're a great band.
They're a bunch of cheese balls. They write insanely catchy, heavy fucking music. They just put out a new single with like a music video. Definitely check out Resistor. Those dudes.
Produced by Randy LaBouffe, who is a legend in this business. I interviewed him once in New Jersey, in the middle of nowhere, New Jersey. He was working with Will Putney. He's worked with Kubla Khan, Dying Wish, Acacia Strain. He's got a long laundry list of amazing bands, and it's cool to have Resistor as part of that as well. They tore it up, and then they made everybody ready for our headliners, our buddies, our guests here on In Madness Pod for 33.25. Loss Becomes. Gentlemen, take me behind the scenes of what's going on, because I know Ageman is freaking out. I run up there, I'm 11 beers deep, and I'm like, oh my god, don't trip in it. I'm popping a flashlight under as our buddy Christian. Shout outs to Christian. The sound guy, that dude was tight as hell. Whatever he made off that, he earned it and more. That dude, that sound was beautiful. But I was like, what was Adrian? Was shit was going down. Capozzi was sitting there looking at Brian, and take me behind the scenes of the Lost Becomes performance.
Pretty much right before the start of the set, I realized that the left pedal on my double pedal was just not functioning, and the lights were already off. So it was pretty much pitch black, and I'm just like, oh, like this has never happened to me before. Like, I don't know what's going on. Do I have to ask another drummer to borrow a pedal right before we're about to start? And I was just like, I need light. Someone give me some light, please. I just want to fix this. And
situation here.
I was like, I'm having a situation here. And situation was resolved, and we proceeded to just rip that shit up. So thankfully, no real problems. But definitely make sure both of your pedals work, drummers. Don't make that mistake that I made.
What about you, Capozzi?
I'm just glad my mic cable didn't come unplugged at any point during the show. At one point, I almost dropped the shit and lost my mind, but we were good. The only amount of beer that I've had Saturday night was 3 sips, and then I put my beer down by Brian, and he knocks it over. Like,
Brian has enough beer for all 4 of us, though, or so it's all good.
Yeah. Like, fucking, I was like, dude, I didn't drink any of that. All right, thanks, man. And I just went on with my night.
No, honestly, it was sick, man. People fucking stuck around, which is always nice. Being the headliner is like not really like this luxury that I feel like people like think it is, especially if you're just like a local band. It's more of like, hopefully motherfuckers stick around, and everyone stuck around to the end of the show, and we had a fucking blast. It was just fun.
We even wrapped it up with a giveaway of 3 pairs of Heavy's headphones. I was super foggy by that time of the night.
Yeah.
We put all the lights on because it was time to go home. We drew all of our raffle tickets. Anyone who entered the door got a ticket. Anyone who bought Hot Chicken Mama got a ticket. And at the end, we had 3 winners. Who was the first dude? I don't know who it was. Capozzi was telling me.
My boy Tom from Long Island Heavy Metal.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
really? That was Long Island Heavy Metal? Fuck yeah. Okay.
I'm like, let's get a good look, but I love my dude, so he can win.
That's sick.
And then we had close personal friend of the show, Basil won. That was a great. But to top it off, Britt Romes, sister of Vin Romes, bass player of Moontooth, well known in Long Island, and the whole place erupted in a cheer when she won. And then we all got kicked out of the spot, and it was a great night. So like on the ride home, I'm already texting like success, victory, confetti emojis, this, that, the third. How do we do it bigger? How do we do it better? What do we do for the future? We're already talking shit. We got breakfast set up for next Saturday morning. We're going to talk. We're going to figure it out. Vertebrae even had an awesome idea. What were you thinking about doing for our expansion of this?
I was going to take a nap in the middle of the show.
Nobody can watch me.
I was gonna get
This
a pillow.
is how I get comfortable.
And the blanket. Yeah, when they said that they wanted me to move, I would move up front and lay down right next to them. No, I don't know. I was thinking if you did another event, I might be able to draw during the event. I've done that before, like paint or draw. I've done it at a couple bars and other events. So
absolutely, man.
If somebody, people can heckle me in between bands and stuff. It's fun.
I mean, heckling will probably happen, but I think having live art at an event like that is just going to like broaden it out and make people more stoked to just see more things kind of going on in the room.
It's like a combination of Comic-Con and a metal show.
Exactly, that's the goal. We should. We could look into, shit, this is just an idea off the top of the head, but Kaposi and I have a friend that does makes her own candles and has like a whole business. We get like a vendor down there selling some things as well. We can kind of we make it like a, kind of like what you said, like a Comic-Con, but like not just a show, but an event that people can come down to, buy a ticket. There'll be live music. There'll be some food, showcase some small local businesses, things like that. Definitely, bring it in and make it a big family thing. The more the better.
The community.
Exactly.
I like this shit. It is fun as hell, man.
Spread the tentacles.
Yes, extend the tentacles further. Artwork, food, music, headphones, candles,
whatever.
We were even talking about maybe weed sponsorship if we can.
Sure. We were talking about that. I got a buddy that I think might be interested in that. I'd have to talk to him, but
throwing ideas around. But yeah, I want to see this grow, and I'm looking very much forward to whatever the hell we end up doing with it. I mean, at least one more thing before the year's out, and then we got to start planning 2025.
Absolutely.
Which is so sick.
You just said that, and I'm like, that's like 2 years from now. No, it's not.
Like 3 months, which is absolutely insane. It's almost Halloween. Can you friggin' believe it?
Best holiday of the year.
I can't wait for what we do for how me and Vertebrae are gonna pull the quick 1-2 punch rope-a-dope on Halloween. It's gonna be a fun one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We got a plan.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna stall for a bit, and then we're just gonna fucking pop out like boo. So with all that, I ask every guest on In Madness Pod, and I want to get into it. So thank you for the show. Shout outs to Watch the Media. Shout outs to Lost Becomes. Shout outs to all the bands. Shout outs to everybody who showed up.
Yeah.
I kept it, every band. I was right up in the front for everybody. Everybody.
Hell yeah.
And I kept looking back. I'm like, I just don't want to look back and see nobody. And every time I turned around, there was more and more and more people there. And I was like, man, this is all.
What did I say when you texted me last? It was, I think, last Saturday. You were
was it stop panicking?
Probably, but I was like, yo, this time next week, we're gonna be looking at each other, going, please, someone show up. Please, someone walk through the door. And I was like, you just can't worry. You just gotta let it happen. Like exactly what Shawn said. If you build it, they will come. Yes.
Kaposi has helped me out with a lot of shows in the past, so he kind of knows the deal. I've had a lot of help with everything I've done. Like you said, man, community. That's what it's always been about. That's always been like the groundwork of these shows. Is we have a good community, and people like to talk shit and say like the Long Island music scene's dead, but I think when people say that, they're just like
not here.
They're not here. They got the wrong intentions, and they're just I don't know what to tell you, because after having a night like that, I don't see how anyone could utter those words. It's. I
know. So some people said it's like a boys' club, and I'm like, I don't even know what that means.
No, we mixed. It was everyone was there. Everyone was hanging out.
And I was like, dude, no, you're just too lazy to go out. You gotta open your eyes and look at the crowd. Everyone's here, everyone's accepted. It's a family almost.
And there's chicken for everyone. Come on, are you kidding me? Shout outs to everybody who worked that show. Brian at the door, Christian the sound dude. I don't want to forget anybody, but whoever I'm forgetting, I'm sorry. But yeah, the photographer, Shawn the photographer. Yes.
Internal Visions was our hired photographer for the evening. I took some photos as well, which I'll be posting, but he already sent us his photos, and the dude just does killer work.
So nasty. So we ask every guest on
Yes.
In Madness Pod, and I want to know from you motherfuckers as well. I'll start with Capozzi. Frontman of Lost Becomes, Anthony Capozzi.
Right in the front.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Man, 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Really?
That movie scares the shit out of me.
Vertebrae 2, probably.
It's a fantastic film. I mean, it's on my list. It's on my short list to do. But yeah, that's a fantastic film. It's spawned a lot of copycats and brought a lot of influence on modern technology. Everything from the iPhone to the way they build webcams and stuff. So yeah,
I'm sorry, David.
Yeah.
And why? What sparked that? How did it start? Where did the nightmares begin?
So the first time I watched it, I was inspired by one of the greatest metal bands in the world, Mudvayne.
Oh, are we gonna have to put Mudvayne on the In Madness playlist?
Dang. You don't have to, but I'd like it. Anyway, so their album LD50 kind of touches base and like kind of gets inspiration from 2001. And I was like, what the fuck is this movie they're talking about? And I've already seen A Clockwork Orange, Full Metal Jacket. And
the super classics.
Yeah, and I'm like, 2001. I put it on. I was in junior high into high school. No friends to hang out with. I watched it on my small little TV in my room with the DVD player inserted into the TV. And I was like, where the fuck is the talking? And I think I had my first panic attack watching it because I'm like, what's happening? What is this movie? And then I watched it 6 times in a row and I was like, I understand now.
Oh, that's funny because I've seen it about 5 times and I still do not understand. Vertebrae is going to have to walk me through this.
I'm going to walk you through it. I'll give you a free gnarly bit too.
Yeah.
How the computer is HAL, and that's like IBM. So you get HIBM.
Wow.
So, hey, that's a free little gnarly bit for you, Shawn. Get your appetite wet on that. Capozzi, while you're on, before we move on, is there anything you want? You're an avid listener of this podcast, so
thank you, Capozzi, for always representing for us.
Is there something you want to ask us because you listen all the time?
Oh, you want me to ask it? I think we talked about it at the show.
Go ahead. What?
Me and Vertebrae talked about it outside of the parking lot.
What was it?
Oh no! Wait a minute. I don't know.
You gotta do Cocaine Bear. You gotta do it.
Yeah, that's not what I expected.
I want to see Cocaine Bear because I want to see what happens at the end.
You asked for this, Vertebrae. You requested
it. I did. Maybe that's a special episode.
0.5.
Maybe it's like a very special episode where I'm not there. It's like something happened and you teach the kids a lesson afterwards about it or something. Or I just pop it at the end.
What about this?
The more you know.
You either do Cocaine Bear or you do one of the most brutal movies I've ever seen, Martyrs.
What the
yeah, we're not going to do that either.
Okay, Cocaine Bear it is.
Okay, so maybe Cocaine Bear. Maybe Shawn. Maybe it's a
shout out Nick Lee.
I mean, listen, we're going to do 2001, so we'll get to 2001.
Dude, I can't wait.
We'll get to them all.
I can't wait for Shawn to text me and go, what the fuck is dude, this is so boring.
No, I mean, I've seen 2001.
No, Butcher.
Oh, Butcher, all right.
I've seen 2001. It's a lot of visual and it's a lot to get through sometimes. Vertebrae loves long explainy bits. I'm on the other end of that where I'm like the less explainy and the more weird bits the better. So it's just,
don't get me wrong, that movie's my mental enemy. I have such bad ADHD that I'll just be on my phone going, what part is this? And then that's what
I like long explainy bits and long bits where nothing happens too.
Yeah.
Vertebrae.
It just looks and sounds nice.
It's my favorite. I fast forward through all the action. I don't care about people shooting people, car chases. I don't care about
That shit.
Detectives talking to each other.
Oh God,
I'm all
that's it.
ears.
Yeah, all ears. How can we solve this case?
Why did he emphasize hallway? I gotta look into this.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. It turns out his father worked on hallways when he was younger.
That's the twist. That's the milking of the alpacas
Oh
moment.
God, always.
Shawn from Watch the Media.
Yo,
Drummer of Lost Becomes, BMX rider, drummer, Godzilla fan. What is your favorite scary movie?
well, I want to thank Kaposi for going first because I had some time to digest this question because I'm terrible at on-the-spot questions like this.
Got you, dog.
And I think I'm going to go with Mandy,
Oh, wait.
the Nicolas Cage movie.
Yeah. Where he's drinking the Jack and just screaming in his underwear.
I mean, yeah, that's a part of it, but yeah, that movie. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie, but it is very wild.
That's a fantastic score too. That's a Johan Johansson
Yes,
score. Yep.
Oh, is it really?
Yes.
I haven't
And
seen
again,
it yet.
like kind of like the piggyback off of Kaposi's choice, just like some of the wildest visuals, not including that long full frontal scene. But like, aside from that, some gnarly visuals, and just like a wild concept, and like the whole just like the acid scene, and it's like, oh, like now he's just like consumed like a full 12-ounce glass of like LSD. Like, what's gonna happen next? Like, and then the movie just goes off the fucking rails. Like, wild flick.
Did you see Longlegs?
No, I did not see Longlegs. I want to see Longlegs. I heard. That's what I heard.
Kaposi, did you see Longlegs?
You saw it, right?
I'm a fan.
Okay.
I'm a fan.
Okay.
I'm not gonna tell you. Like, I'm just a fan.
I'd
watch it again.
I might have to.
This was what I've heard. I've heard like people want it. I heard they did a good job with the trailers, but I also heard people say that they liked the movie. So
Vertebrae, did you like Longlegs?
He didn't.
Did we talk about that?
I didn't see it. It's in the theater, right?
It's still in theaters.
No,
It's
you
not in my
rented it.
house. It's not in
on
my
Prime.
house.
Oh, is it on Prime?
It's on
Yeah, but
Prime.
you got to pay, right? You got to pay.
Probably like $20,
Yeah.
so maybe wait a little bit.
Yeah,
No, they got to bring it. They got to bring it to me. It has to come to me.
Or
first.
just use the internet, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wink.
I wait. It's fine. And then I want to talk about these movies 6 months later when no one else cares about them anymore.
After the hype has long died down.
Long died down. Sean gets a text from me. Hey,
I don't know.
I think we're ready.
That's the way to do it, because then you don't have the emotional hype going in. Then you aren't let down if you didn't like it. Like, I think I watched Everything Everywhere All at Once or something on a plane, and I was like, this movie stinks. Everyone like told me it was amazing, and I just didn't like it. And I thought maybe it was because I was on an airplane, but it was just people hyped it up too much, and it ruined it.
Yeah, I can't. And Sean got me to the movies because we went to see a movie that was 45 years old.
45th anniversary. Hell yeah!
So that's how we did it. But it was empty. The theater was empty. There were only 3 of us together and one other person. Right? There's one other person.
Yeah, me, Basil, and Vertebrae went to go see Alien for the 45th anniversary.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Dude,
There's one other guy in the whole theater,
empty
and that was
theater.
perfect.
You guys could have just been like doing whatever you want in whatever corner of the room. It was yours. That was your living room.
in the corner. Yeah,
I remember I saw who.
Then that one guy showed up. I had plans, but then the one guy showed up.
Misery.
yeah, ruined everything.
I saw Paranormal Activity 2 in theaters by myself. No one was in the theater. It was 1:30 in the afternoon. I went to go sit in the front, and I got so scared that I had to sit against the wall. I was like, nah, fuck this.
Those Paranormal Activity movies are great. I love them.
I love
the anticipation. I love the dread they build. I love the camera fan. It's like nothing there, nothing there, nothing there. Oh my god! What is that? What is that? What is that? And then it just goes away, and then it just comes back, and then there's nothing there again. It's like no. I hate it.
That's supposedly an art installation that mentions anxiety or something. I don't know. That's my gnarly bit. with no real information.
Oh, that's more of a Shawn fact then.
Yeah, Shawn fact. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Shawn
total
fact.
bullshit. I want to get into everybody's plugs before we wrap up. Thank you for hanging out with us and recapping this amazing show we did. I am looking forward to the future of more of these shows and more people getting involved and working with more amazing bands and just, again, building the community. What do you guys have coming up that you want to plug? Music, shows, art, Capozzi's industrial project. What do you guys want to plug before we wrap up?
Shawn, you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. I mean, I don't got too much, but I'm just gonna, I guess, plug Washed Up Media. You know, if you're in the tri-state area of New York and you're looking to do a music video, do some photography, you're in a band, hit me up. All my social media is at Washed Up Media, Facebook, Instagram. I'm mostly on Instagram. That's my email as well. So yeah, thanks for having me on. The show was insane. I can't wait to do more stuff. And yeah, man, the future is gonna be very cool for us. I think for sure.
Right. What about you?
Absolutely.
Capozzi?
Thanks for buying me time, Shawn, to look this up. We are playing. Lost Becomes are playing September 24th at Amityville Music Hall.
My birthday at Amityville Music Hall.
Oh, what?
We weaseled onto the show for that reason.
Oh,
We're playing
right
with
around
Norma
there,
Jean.
John.
What happened?
And yeah, Vertebrae's birthday is like 3 days after mine.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, let's hang out. I took off of work. Let's party.
Is it your birthday around that time, Capozzi?
A few days after.
Oh yeah, me, you, and
Yeah.
Nalfo
Yeah.
are all in a line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
At Modern Static Records.
Shout out Monostatic.
Yep.
But yeah, Lost Becomes are opening the show September 24th at Amityville Music Hall with Norma Jean and Darkest Hour. We go on at 6:30, so get there for doors and squeeze in.
Hell yeah, make it happen.
We'll have all our merch there. You can support us that way. You can follow us at Lost Becomes on Instagram, Twitter, Threads. Who uses that? I don't know. We talk about this all the time. But yeah, TikTok. We're on the TikTok. You can catch me just looking at it. But yo, before we go, thank you guys. Like, your podcast rocks. And I think now all of Lost Becomes has been mentioned on here. So thank you for the love.
Shout out to Gomez. Gomez hit us in the mail sack. Chef
Yeah.
Brian on. Who were we missing?
Lapardo made the music.
Intro for the show. Yeah.
Hey, there we go, Mr. Westfall.
Yeah, so thank you guys. I'm very grateful that you guys show support like that and show the love. And I love this podcast. You guys save my Mondays.
Fuck yeah. That's
Thank
what I'm
you.
talking about. Vertebrae, what about you?
Oh, you want to plug stuff?
Plug away. You got Comic-Con coming out the rear end.
Oh yeah. So we're gonna have what are we gonna have? We're gonna have a 0.5 next.
Yeah.
Then we're gonna do a movie.
Yeah.
Then we're gonna have some Comic-Con stuff coming up. So
Yeah.
we have New York Comic-Con October 16th, I think it is the first day. I always get confused by the exact date because I have to load in the day before. Shawn will be there on Saturday the 19th, hanging out. I've got all my merch for sale, Vertebrae33 on all the socials. At the booth, I will have my Terrifier co-branded t-shirt for sale at the booth. So this is sort of breaking news that will drop right now. And hopefully I can show it soon as well. And I'll have new merch from me.
A clip from it, right? You
Yeah,
posted
little
a
sections.
I saw
Little
that.
sections.
I'm like, I know exactly what that is.
And then I'm going to have another co-brand with Mischief Toys. Our buddies at Mischief Toys are going to be doing a print and a pin and a shirt. And I'm next to their booth. So I'm hoping there's long lines. And I'm making Shawn work like crazy selling T-shirts on Saturday instead of interviewing people.
Hell yeah.
But we have that coming up. And that's pretty much it.
Hell yeah. And make sure you follow us on all the socials, the premier podcast at inmadnesspod, inmadnesspod@gmail.com. We will read your emails on the show. Follow us on YouTube. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, comment, give us the 5 stars. Check out the In Madness Spotify playlist that will now house Silentness and Trip Villain and Resistor and Wreath of Tongues. Lost Becomes is already on there. We could put another new one on there if you want. Yeah, I see Capozzi. He's ready to hit me with it. We are adding all this new music. We are also adding Creed to the In Madness Spotify playlist. Make sure you follow that to get updates every time we put new music on, which is pretty much after every single episode. And if you want an In Madness shirt, go to inmadness.com. Spread the madness. Tell everyone you know about this show. Thank you guys for being on here. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you everybody for listening. Thank you everybody who showed up to this show. We're looking forward to doing more of these in the future. And yeah, we'll see you at the 0.5, right? That's all good. Everybody wrapped up. Everybody got everything good that they need.
Yeah.
Cool. We'll see you next week.